question, are we seeing the most unpredictable season in recent NBA history? Because me, personally, I don't understand anything. The regular season is going absolutely crazy, not only because some teams are exceeding all expectations, while others are succumbing to the biggest disaster unimaginable during the first month of competition.
We're early in the fourth. LeBron James again!
But because given what is happening, it probably wasn't on any fan's bingo card. An undefeated team, 2 contenders relegated to the bottom of one of the worst conferences we've ever seen. One of the best rookie seasons in history of a player who wasn't even drafted in the lottery. A most improved player candidate who looks like he's going to become the best perimeter defender in history. A father sharing the court with his son. And all of this is just the tip of the iceberg. So let's get going. There's a lot of unpacking to do. There's no other way to start this video. The Cleveland Cavaliers deserve to be all over the front pages of the media because their season so far is literally perfect. 12 months ago, we were hearing rumors that the team might be on the verge of another rebuild. Many people thought that Donovan Mitchell wanted to leave before the end of his current contract, and that Darius Garland was not comfortable with the team. But far from wanting to leave, the superstar guard is knocking down game winners like this one. As of today, the Cavaliers are functioning as a unit, like a true Swiss watch. They are not only the highest scoring team in the NBA, they are also conceding the least points in the entire Eastern Conference. Now that doesn't seem like such a complicated mission. Why? Because the Eastern Conference is bad, historically bad. In fact, of the 50 games that have been played between teams from both conferences, the Western teams have won 35, and the Eastern teams have won 15.
Lost it momentarily, recaptures, 3 seconds left. Mitchell for the win!
Yes!
If this progression continues throughout the regular season, this would be the worst winning percentage of Eastern teams against Western teams since ever. Because the worst record in the history of Eastern teams is 37% winning percentage against teams from the other conference. This season, that percentage is at 30%. And why is that happening? Well, because the strong teams in the East are suffering much more than they expected. The Knicks' situation is strange, since they are not able to win regularly with all their star players. But the Bucks' situation under Doc Rivers seems much worse. With 4 wins and 9 losses at the time of recording, the Wisconsin team looks like they are going to have a hard time even making the playoffs. In fact, in their loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers a few weeks ago, Giannis and Lillard combined to score 75 points, grab 20 rebounds, and dish out 18 assists in one of the most incredible performances by a duo of the season. But you know what? They lost. Doc Rivers is still looking to be under contract with contenders in 2024, which I find simply unbelievable. And if that wasn't enough, Giannis has had to endure more pressure than being part of a losing team despite his best efforts. Because his feud during the last few weeks with Jaylen Brown has been weird to say the least. Now, he can rest easy because Nike clearly dislikes Jaylen, and they have the Greek Freaks back, right? Although it is also a case study for the Philadelphia 76ers. As of recording, they are 14th in the conference, only ahead of the Toronto Raptors. And the situation is so bad that some fans are suggesting to capture the flag. I don't know if you know what I mean. Yeah, just like those old Sam Hinkie days.
Crowd standing. Embiid flares it out and throws it into the front row.
The point is that they at least have the excuse that none of their 3 stars have had continuity. No Embiid, no Maxey, no Paul George. Now the Sixers have also enjoyed one of the surprises of the season, because Jared McCain, the most famous TikToker in the NBA, has proven to be the best player of the team in the absence of their stars. Many expected the rookie to not even get real minutes this season because theoretically the rotation was not too deep, but nothing could be further from the truth. That kid is a stud. Not only is he the favorite to win Rookie of the Year, having been drafted out of the lottery, he's also the second highest box plus minus rookie in NBA history, behind only one Michael Jordan. But if we talk about Jared, we have to talk about the player who was chosen right after him in the draft a few months ago. Because Dalton Knecht, as we said in a video a few months ago, is turning out to have a major immediate impact. Why? In part because of another one of the surprises of the season. JJ Redick's Los Angeles Lakers. Seemed like a no-brainer, right? JJ is a guy with a lot of experience in the league, a lover of advanced stats. He has an incredible level of attention to detail style, and most important of all, he's friends with Bron. The vibes in LA are immaculate. LeBron looks like he's still not aging and could play until he's 50. AD looks to be at the best level of his career and is a front-runner MVP. And most role players except Max and Gabe are performing as expected.
Here is LeBron. Got a big goal.
Also, the hype of the Bronny soap opera seems to be behind us, and it's not going to affect team chemistry. These are good times in LA, or at least at the Staples Center, since the Clippers, despite having opened their incredible dome, are not having as much luck. Yes, Kawhi Leonard is still out. Now, the Warriors are another team that never seems to get old. Their offense is the third best in the entire league, and they are a team that is well above average on the defensive end, or at least that's what the stats say, which have put them in second place in the Western Conference. Of course, just behind the Thunder. A team that, even though they have lost Chet Holmgren to injury, is still almost as dominant. And a team that, by the way, has enough first-round picks to get almost any player in the league at any moment. Are we really aware of that? However, they will have a lot of competition to win the Western Conference, because there are many teams with winning records on that side of the country. The Rockets, the Suns, or the Kings are still above 50% wins thanks to their solid cores. And in the case of the Kings, thanks to De'Aaron Fox, who scored 109 points in 24 hours in a back-to-back. Yeah, fans in Sacramento are like, who won the trade now? While teams that in theory are a tier above, like the Nuggets or the Timberwolves, are also failing to be as differentiating as they should be. In Denver's case, this is due to the deterioration of their rotation, something that not even Nikola Jokic's video game stat lines night in and night out are managing to save it all.
Edwards on the drive, goes inside the floater, puts it in!
Seriously, it looks like the Serbian is playing my career at rookie difficulty level, and Minnesota, after the blockbuster trade they pulled off before the season started, is still adjusting to their new team. Now, we have to talk about Anthony Edwards. The start of the season that he made from beyond the arc was something unusual. We are talking about almost 50% efficiency with Stephen Curry-type volume of shooting, something that was even criticized a few weeks ago. Finally, the Dallas Mavericks and the New Orleans Pelicans are disappointing many fans. The former because of the attitude of their superstar, Luka Doncic, who despite still being a completely differential player with all the talent in the world, does not seem to finish maturing at all. And the Pelicans because of something that is already familiar. Injuries have not allowed them to have any kind of continuity. Now, in addition to the fight for the playoffs, there are several teams that have suffered surprises during the season, some for the better and some for the worse. Many Pacers fans are wondering if Tyrese Halliburton will ever return to the superstar he was before his injury. His productivity and efficiency has plummeted, and that has caused the Pacers to fall below a 50% winning percentage. A similar situation to that of Jimmy Butler. We already know that the Heat forward is a playoff riser, and that the regular season doesn't usually concern him too much, but he is posting his worst averages since the 2013 to 2014 season, which was the first one in which he was starting for the Chicago Bulls. Although, it's not all bad news.
With Butler driving right into it.
LaMelo is balling like never before, as is Tyler Herro, Cam Thomas, or Norman Powell. In fact, the Hawks, even though their record is not incredible, are enjoying the explosion of two players on their roster. The first is Jalen Johnson, who has seen his ball-handling responsibilities multiply after the departure of DeJounte Murray, and he is responding adequately. But Dyson Daniels, it's really crazy. The Hawks' two-guard is not only averaging 3.8 steals per night, which would be the highest in league history if he finished the season that way. He is averaging 6.25 steals in the last 4 games. I haven't seen anything like that, just like I haven't seen anyone do what Trae Young did after beating the New York Knicks at home. Now, for positive surprises, the ones we are seeing in the scoring department. Even though we are only a month into the regular season, we have already seen up to 4 50 bombs. In addition to Fox's career night in the first game of his back-to-back against Minnie, Victor Wembanyama and Paolo Banchero have also had career nights of 50 points. Giannis, meanwhile, casually dropped a 59 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists performance against the Pistons to make sure his team finally won. Of course, so far this season, we have seen 14 other 40 bombs from players of all kinds. from Cam Thomas to Jordan Poole to Tyrese Maxey or Karl Anthony Towns. The NBA is a league with more talent than ever. But you know what the best part is? This is just the beginning. We are only 15% of the way through the regular season, and we already have plenty of moments to remember. All the teams are still fighting for the same goal. And the truth is that predicting the winner of this season seems like an impossible mission. But what the hell? This is the year I've been most hyped about the NBA in a long time. Do you think the same too?